This is a historic moment, as experts are already describing this as a defining moment for Donald Trump's presidency. We're still waiting for answers from Fort Bragg and the White House on whether any service members from here at Fort Bragg were deployed for this mission. The suspect, Darrell Evans Jr., is now facing felony charges for first-degree murder and child abuse. Evans is not the baby's father, however, according to investigators, and he was watching over the baby when this situation happened. Right where we're standing here on Dudley Road, this fire just picked up again. It only started smoldering about 30 minutes ago. I'm standing at the spot with the worst of the damage here at Hillside Cemetery that we can see. This over here is an exposed, unidentified casket, exposed because of residual damage from Hurricane Florence. Officials point out that this is the most diverse administration in the country's history. All this coming in the backdrop of what is shaping up to be a contentious election cycle. It's been an exciting day here at Fort Bragg, where Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth spoke to paratroopers in the 82nd Airborne Division just over an hour ago. What you're hearing is the sound of a Black Hawk helicopter just behind me. It was actually one of the military helicopters that was part of the procession. We don't want to speculate, but Barbara, we're moments away from the city of Fayetteville announcing its new police chief here at City Hall. This announcement comes after the previous chief, Ken Braden, officially retired. You can see the water behind me. It's as brown as the mud beneath my feet, and some homeowners I spoke with in the area tell me they're still dealing with the impacts of the last major storm, Tropical Storm Debbie, and that they're working together to protect themselves from Helene. It is a very tense and active scene out here. You might actually be able to hear the cries, the shrieks of friends and loved ones who've just gotten an update from the Johnston County Sheriff's Office. Yesenia Gilfranco tells me this corner of her house is a safe place for her daughter to connect with her father.
This is Christian's urn, so we keep it here. Jasmine comes here often, actually.
Christian, a staff sergeant in the Army, died of stomach cancer while on active duty back in 2017. The Gold Star widow says her daughter was only 8 months old when her father died. Gilfranco was a lieutenant.
As an active duty service member, I don't think I let myself grieve the way that I probably should have.
Then a friend encouraged her to join Wear Blue Run to Remember, a foundation for families of fallen soldiers. The organization holds runs nationwide to give families a chance to connect, cope with loss, and mentor kids.
I love to say that we're all one in blue because we are. No matter where you are, what you're going through that day, you have a community of supporters behind you who are walking with you.
Watching her daughter run, Gilfranco says it's only made her daughter stronger.
She just kept saying, even though she was struggling, she said, I'm doing this for Dad, I'm doing this for Dad. And it was a huge step. It was, she made me very proud. And I know Chris would be proud of her too, if he was there.
Monique John, ABC 11 Eyewitness News. Dency Lucas says she's been leaning on her faith and her community as they've been raising money to rehabilitate the struggling cemetery, Hillside Cemetery in Spring Lake. The worst of the damage is this casket we first showed you in October, now visible from the street and exposed due to unrepaired damage from Hurricane Florence. She says they've raised more than $7,000 to restore the cemetery since they first spoke to us last month.
The outstanding outpouring of support shows the love and desire that the community has.
Cumberland County is pitching in too. The Board of Commissioners is allocating $15,000 from the general budget to rebury the casket.
It was a unanimous decision. They understood the significance of this.
Commissioner Glenn Adams says he hopes the effort will restore dignity while community members keep working to identify whose grave ended up exposed by the damage.
This is somebody's family. It's either their great-grandmother, grandmother. It doesn't really matter, but we deserve to make sure that they are taken care of.
One man says he's proud of his fellow veterans, helping them clean up the graveyard by clearing up overgrown brush and litter in recent weeks. Their work has made many of the graves here, including these ones behind me, more visible.
Everybody that I talked to, especially the Sergeant Major community, stepped up.
In Spring Lake, Monique John, ABC 11 Eyewitness News. This may look and sound like a disaster site, but it's actually just a drill.
No one thinks that their plane's going to crash or something like that's going to happen. But For us, we can't afford just assuming that it's not going to happen. We have to prepare like it's going to happen.
Wednesday, Fayetteville Airport held a simulation of a plane crash with the fire department and several emergency departments in the area. About 30 actors from local high schools and colleges played passengers in distress in the exercise, mandated by the Federal Aviation Administration.
Training is where you're going to identify some issues, and then you'll be able to correct those before we have a major incident here.
Officials say the airport leads the drill every 3 years, but they note deadly plane crashes like the mid-air collision in Washington, D.C. underscored the importance of this year's exercise.
We really do try to role play this into the current events, especially those that have recently occurred here in the industry.
Fayetteville's first responders tell me major crashes that have been happening in other parts of the country are pushing them to modernize how they would respond to a crisis if an incident happened here. Airport officials tell me this old aircraft from a deadly plane crash in 1994 is used to train for rescue missions in confined spaces.
We are going to do our job, and we're going to do the best we can at it. And we're out here doing this stuff for you guys.
In Fayetteville, Monique John, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.